There's a bit of an issue with max cushion daily trainers, and that's that you can feel detached from your run. It can feel like you're running on a platform, and that means you don't feel connected to the surface beneath you, and really you're not getting the most out of your run because of it. Well, luckily for us, the Brooks Glycerin Flex is built different. The biggest differentiator with the Brooks Glycerin Flex then is the fact that it articulates with your feet, so it flexes as your foot would flex. And that's really special in a max cushion daily trainer, and it's all done with this pod formation underneath the shoe and this huge gully which allows the shoe to flex in literally every direction. So it's working with your natural biomechanics instead of against them. This one feels like one of those innovation products done right. It actually does fit into your rotation slot very easily, and it does handle a lot of different paces in your daily training, but also is capable of going longer distances for the right people. Okay, that's the teaser out of the way. Let's get into the key specifications. They cost $170. I'll let you know by the end of this review if I believe they're worth that price tag. They weigh 9.2 ounces or 261 grams. That's actually lighter than average for a max cushion daily trainer like this. They have a drop of 6 millimeters. That's 36 millimeters under the heel and 30 millimeters under the toe. The upper is using a really comfortable, nice flat knit mesh, and it stretches with your foot as you slip it in. It kind of hugs it, burritos it, whatever you want to call it. It just feels really secure and supportive in that respect. It's also very breathable too, so if you are running in hot conditions or you're running at high intensity and your feet start heating up, well, it's breathable. And I like the fact that this upper is stretchy because it does mean when your feet do expand in those situations, the upper's got you. The midsole is using that DNA tuned foam, which is dual density, and it's got that supercritical style feel to it. Very responsive, very bouncy, super nice. And then the outsole is using rubber compound for anywhere there is going to be surface contact, which is really good. And I like the way the rubber compound is extruded quite a way away from the midsole foam, and that will give it extra durability in the long run. When it comes to sizing and fit, they're very much true to size, and they've got that classic Brooks fit. So they've got that medium width, and like I said, that upper does expand, so if you've got slightly wider feet or higher volume feet, it's just going to feel really nice and supportive, and rather than constraining your foot, it will expand to it. The step-in feel is fantastic. There's plenty of cushioning around the collars on the inside, so it's just hiding behind this flappy extra collar, whatever you would call it. Really nice, there's a nice heel pull towards the rear. The tongue is very padded as well. And the lacing system is very traditional, but it works very well and it's very quick to get a nice secure fit. And speaking to how secure the fit is, well, very secure in the midfoot, and heel lock has been very good too. There's an extra eyelet if you do need to use racer's loop heel lock method to get even more of a lockdown. If you are going to be doing faster workouts, then it's nice that that option is available to you too. If you're enjoying this review so far, please give a video a like. I really appreciate it when you guys do that. It makes me feel loved, makes me feel special, and who wouldn't want that for me? Come on, I'm doing all this for you. Give me a like. And subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. That'll let you know as soon as new videos drop. And if you're new to the channel, I always keep things genuine, honest, and as insightful as possible to help you decide whether or not the shoes I'm currently reviewing are going to be best for you and your needs. So there's never any bias from any brands. Sure, brands send me running shoes. I couldn't afford to buy all these shoes myself, but I always tell the truth in my reviews, and if that hurts the feelings of the shoe a little bit, well, I'm sorry, but truth hurts sometimes. And finally, if you've got any experience running in the Brooks Glycerin Flex, I want to get your thoughts. Put them in the comments down below. That's really going to help me. It will help me understand how you guys are using this shoe, but also it's going to help anyone who visits this video decide whether or not the shoes are going to be good for them. So as much information as you can put, the better. And that's going to be really helpful for the community. So thank you. Let's get straight into my performance review. I'm going to start by talking about the ride and the midsole because they're basically connected. First off, this is a max cushion running shoe for sure. It's not the maxest of max cushion running shoes. It's not a hugely plush one, but it is bouncy, responsive and fun to run in. But it's important to know that the heel area definitely feels more soft or more cushioned than the forefoot area. So depending on what kind of runner you are, if you are a heel striker, you're absolutely going to love these. You're going to get that nice soft landing at the heel. You're going to get that flex from this crazy midsole geometry of all these cutouts. It just flexes to your feet, almost like you're not wearing shoes, so to speak. It's an interesting concept that works really well, and one that you just have to try out to understand what it's doing underfoot, but I'll try my best to explain in this review anyway. But this is where it might not be for everyone. If you are definitely a forefoot striker, I tend to land more towards my forefoot. Most of my runs are faster pace, unless of course I'm doing a recovery jog. So there are some issues at the forefoot of this shoe, and that does affect comfort levels to the front of your foot a little bit. And the issue is what I'm calling the DNA tuned pod issue, because it happens on the pod, which has that little label there. So it's the one that sits underneath your big toe. It's the inside edge or the medial edge, big pod under your big toe joint. It's less cushioned at the forefoot. So when you've got this extra pod here, you feel that pod. It's not like it's a block of foam. You've got this pod and then you've got areas of no foam. So you're going to feel more pressure from the pods underfoot. Now I didn't feel any pressure from any of the other pods on the shoe. It's literally just this one at the front. And I wonder if any of you guys have been running in this shoe and you've experienced the same thing. It just feels a little bit firm under my big toe. And when I reach around 10 kilometers of a run in these shoes, I start to notice that. So for me, it's not going to be the best long distance running shoe. It's really great for just going out bagging, nice, enjoyable, fun, medium paced, 10-kilometer runs, anything up to that distance, then these are fantastic. But after 10 kilometers, this becomes a little bit of an issue for me. So you have to decide whether or not you're going to be running longer than that, but also whether or not you land more towards your forefoot or your heel, or your midfoot for that matter. Not everyone is going to experience this one, I don't think. It very much depends on where you land and also how much pressure you're putting on the forefoot of the shoe. So that could be because you're running faster, you might be putting more pressure on the toe off, or just because you land more towards your forefoot. But really, that is the only niggle I have with the Glycerin Flex. Everything else is fantastic and they've absolutely nailed it. I just wish they changed that little bit there, and then this could be an absolutely beauty of a running shoe. And they might do that in the next version. Fingers crossed. Now I've got to speak to the flex of this shoe, because that is really the big selling point. That's the innovation that's going on here, is the fact that it does flex like crazy in every direction. Not just because of that groove, it's just a very flexible shoe too. What that means for you on the run is it's going to be more comfortable. You're not going to be fighting a stiff flex on the run. It's going to feel more natural. You're going to come away feeling like you've done more of a workout to start off with, because you've been using your foot muscles and joints more, because you're not being stopped by a big block of foam or a carbon fiber plate, which helps do some of the work for you. It's going to feel different if you're not used to a highly flexible running shoe, but keep at it, stick with it, and actually in the long run it's going to be better for you because you are actually using your feet, or the biomechanics of your feet, in the way they were designed to be used. But at the same time, you get all the protection from all this cushioning underfoot. And if you want to see my pop test, well, I'm going to flex this, let go, and you can see what the pop's like. So, pretty good. It's not a huge amount by any means, because this wouldn't be so flexible as it is if it was going to have that propulsion that you might want to see from a faster running shoe. But that Flex may not give you incredible pop from the foam, but it does give you flexibility, which comes with all the other benefits. So I do really believe Brooks has done something special with this shoe. It's innovative to the core, but innovation done right, and I think they've nailed it for the most part. Even though this is a max cushion running shoe, it feels very stable throughout, and it's not the biggest stack height running shoe, 36 millimeters under the heel. It's high stack, but it's not crazy high stack. You get a lot over 40 millimeters nowadays. So it feels good running around corners because you've got the flex and you've got the stability. It just feels very natural. I don't feel like I'm wobbling, and I don't feel like I'm losing control at any point. And then speaking of control, the outsole traction has been very good for me as well. I have run in some wet sections. It's been really good. I haven't had any issues at all. And I am seeing some wear under the forefoot already, but that tells me the rubber compound is sticky. Sticky rubber compounds mean they work better. So that's a trade-off really with different rubber compounds. If you've got a hard compound, then it's going to last longer. You're going to lose less of that compound on the tarmac or road surface, but it's not going to be as grippy. And conversely, a compound like this won't last as long, but at least it's working really well. The Glycerin Flex is really best for those recovery days, steady paced daily training, but also longer runs for those people who don't maybe land more towards their forefoot. And I found it to be actually really good at picking up the pace if you need to. So it's not a tempo running shoe as such, but the range of this shoe when it comes to daily training is very good. It feels very natural at higher speeds, just as natural as it does at slower speeds. So it's very versatile in that respect. If you're wondering where the Glycerin Flex features in my best max cushion daily trainers roundup, well, follow that link up there. That will take you to my website where I constantly update all my roundups for every different type of shoe. Well, you've made it to my final verdict. Is the Brooks Glycerin Flex worth $170? Yes, this is a very innovative shoe. It's doing something that no other running shoe is doing right now. And it's doing it in a way that's just not been seen yet with this kind of technology. $170, it's not the cheapest for a max cushion daily trainer. I guess it's kind of sits in the average spot. It's about what you'd expect to pay for a max cushion shoe. And I've only got one issue with it, and that's this pod, a DNA tuned pod under the medial side, the inside edge under my big toe. And that's just where I felt like it was a little bit too firm, maybe putting a little bit too much pressure under my big toe, making it not the best at distances over 10 kilometers for me personally. Some other people might not notice that because they've got a different stride to me. Anyway, like I said, I want to hear your opinion on this one if you have run in it. Did you feel that? What's your stride like? Give me all that information. I want to build a better picture of this shoe in my head based on all your experiences. So for $170 for most people, if you want the freshest feeling in a running shoe right now, then I think this has to be tried out. You have to give it a go. It's a very unique feeling, feels supernatural, bouncy, fun, very protective underfoot, stable for a neutral running shoe, and I think it looks good too. You could wear this as a lifestyle shoe or just for standing around walking all day, and you're going to get maximum comfort. And because it's a Brooks running shoe, fit is very good and it's just very comfortable in the upper. Well, that's it for my Brooks Glycerin Flex review. Really hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy it, make sure you hit that like button. Really appreciate it. And subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell and that'll let you know as soon as new videos drop. Can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.